Hello everyone, it's Stephanie, your CSA coach, and it is week 21A of our 2024 CSA season. Couple of quick announcements. This week and next week on the farm, our farmers are having the garlic social, so if you have some extra time, sit with them and break up some garlic cloves for planting. There's a broom making class this Sunday, so take a look at the specific information for that in your email that you received yesterday. Finally, we will have registration information coming out for next season because after this week, we only have 3 weeks left. So we do need to prepare for next season and get registered. That information will be coming out throughout the next few weeks. So pay attention to that. There will be registration open. So take a look at the posts on Facebook and the emails that you receive for specifics on that. Okay, jumping right into this week's CSA share, we have tomatoes. Tomatoes get stored on the counter. They like to be at room temperature. Slice them and use them on sandwiches, use them on burgers, dice them up and use them on tacos. You can do a pico de gallo. You can do roasted tomato sauce. You can do roasted tomato soup. There's also a bunch of other tomato soups that you could do since we're hitting soup season, but stored on the counter. Or you could just slice them up and eat them as a snack, which is what I often do. We have coconut squash stored in a cool, dry place. When you're ready to use it, generally you slice it in half, take the seeds out, roast it. You can also slice it into rounds, take those seeds out and roast it on a pan. You can grill it, you can cube it and roast it that way. You can cube it and boil it. Makes amazing soup. You can also puree that roasted flesh and create lots of goodies with it. So I think in the past I've done pancakes. The recipe, there's a couple recipes that I've used squash in over the past few weeks. You can sub this squash. Flavor will change a little bit, but our squashes can kind of be intermixed. It'll just change the flavor a little, and cooking time will vary because of the size of the squash. You can make soups. You can just roast it and freeze it. You can freeze it uncooked. So ways to preserve it, but super good. Just simply made as a side. You can mash it up and use that as a side or leave it as cubes. You can caramelize those cubes, so lots of different ways to cook it. We have fennel. Fennel we're gonna store in the fridge in a Debbie Meyer green bag. Generally, fennel is either very thinly sliced, served raw over like a salad, or I like to caramelize it and then serve it on a salad like that or as a side. So I like to thinly slice it, caramelize it, serve it with onions. You can grill it. You can, what else? Fennel. Lots of salads. You can combine it. You can grill it, you can roast it, you can saute it, or you can eat it raw. We have romaine lettuce. Romaine lettuce is stored in a Debbie Meyer green bag in the fridge. Once you're ready to use it, rinse off the leaves, chop it up. Great in terms of a salad base. Also on top of burgers, on sandwiches, shredded and put on tacos. We are doing like a burger bowl, so I like to use the lettuce as the base. You can also use it as in your tacos. What else? Lettuce. You can make a big salad board, chop this up, put it in one section, and then do all different toppings for your salads. Kind of changes up the way you serve a salad. Salad board PDF is in our hub if you're interested in doing that. We have scallions, and my scallions this week are huge. So this is gonna get stored in a large Debbie Meyer green bag. I'm hoping to incorporate these in this week's recipe since we've been getting a lot of them. Stored in the fridge, great as a topping, great chopped up and dehydrated. So I've done that a lot this season so that I can use it throughout the winter. On top of soups, on top of mashed potatoes, a mild onion flavor. So you can use a lot of it to get more oniony flavor. You can use just a little bit to give you just a hint. But can be used raw on top of salads, or it can be added to like a stir fry or anything, like a dish where you want a little more onion flavor. We have parsley. So parsley, you're going to take and put it in a glass of water and put it in your fridge. I actually still have the parsley from last week, so I'm hoping to preserve or use both of them this week. Store it in the glass in your fridge. Can be used, you can dehydrate it, you can freeze it to preserve it. But I like to keep it in the fridge, pull out a few sprigs and use it in salad dressings and marinades. Great on top of salads. Parsley is really good digestively, so you can throw it into smoothies. Awesome on our soups or in our soups. So chop it up. If a recipe calls for dried parsley, generally 1 teaspoon of dried is equivalent to 1 tablespoon of finely chopped fresh. So it just gives you an equivalent. We have kale. Kale gets stored in a Debbie Meyer green bag in our fridge. Can be eaten raw, can be made into kale chips, kale Caesar salad. You can do massage kale salad. You can simply saute it. So refer to our sauteed greens PDF for a simple saute guideline. You can put it into soup. So we've done that in a couple different recipes. What else? You can make green cubes. So if you make green cubes, you do a quick saute or quick flash, cook, pull them out, rinse, squeeze out the water, puree them into green cubes, throw them in the freezer, and then they're great to add to smoothies. You can also do kale pesto. There's a kale pesto recipe on the website. We have celeriac stored in the crisper drawer of your fridge. Has a celery flavor, so it's the root of the celery. You're going to peel it. You can chop it up. You can throw it into salad. Often it's shredded. It's great in soups. You can do a creamy celery soup using the celeriac. You can eat it raw. It pairs really well with potatoes. It goes really well in a slaw. We have sweet potatoes. So sweet potatoes are stored in a cool, dry place. These can be grilled, so you can thinly slice them and grill them. I would probably slice them this way, long ways, put a little oil on them and throw them on the grill. You can peel them, chop them, and boil them. You can roast them whole, or you can dice them up and put them in a saute pan and saute them on the stovetop. You can also do a sweet potato, like potato salad, just subbing out your regular potato with the sweet potatoes, obviously a sweeter flavor. You can make like a hash brown with sweet potatoes. You can shred them and put them in fritters, or just do a like shredded hash brown as well, but cool, dry place for those. We have arugula. Arugula is stored just like this in the fridge. Great as a base for salads. I generally like to eat it raw. Pretty sure this is going to be in our recipe this week. You can cook it. You can do an arugula pesto. You can do arugula and radishes on top of, if you still have radishes from previous weeks, on top of a pasta. Those two pair really well together. You can just simply saute it with onions and garlic and serve it as a side as well. It's a little bit of peppery, but super delicious and full of flavor and nutrients. Last but not least, we have beets. Beets, the very first thing you want to do is get those greens chopped off. store them in a separate bag in the fridge. They can be just used like any other green. So saute them, throw them in soups, make green cubes out of them, or use them raw in a salad, your choice. But don't throw them out. They can be used just like they are, just like any other green. Use your simple sauteed greens PDF. The bottoms. Beets are fun. They're full of flavor. You can roast them. You can use them raw. You can shred them and add them with your celeriac and make a big like coleslaw without the cabbage. In fact, your celeriac, your fennel, and your beets would go really well together if you just want to shred everything and kind of lightly dress it. That would be a fun side. Beets, I'm pretty sure, are going to be showcased in this week's recipe, so stay tuned for that. But we're going to store those bulbs in a separate Ziploc bag in the fridge or a plastic bag in the fridge. They can be eaten raw or they can be cooked. So we can roast them, we can boil them, you can pickle them. I love pickling them because then it preserves them for a while, and pickled beets on top of a salad are amazing. So that's our beets. That's it for this week. Any questions, make sure you tag me and post your questions on Facebook. Any fun recipes that you're finding for our fall veggies, make sure you post that as well. If you have time, help our farmers with the garlic social. And if you're interested, make sure you sign up for the broom making class. I will see you guys all again next week.